It's a familiar scene. You're in a room where conversation hums, yet you find yourself seeking out the quieter corners, content with the absence of noise. Those who gravitate towards silence are often met with misunderstanding, sometimes mistaken for being aloof or disengaged. But the preference for quiet holds a subtle power, rooted in psychology. At its core, silence is rarely just the backdrop of our day. For many, it's the essential space where thinking, processing, and reflecting actually happen. Rather than being an escape, silence is used as a tool to sift through cluttered thoughts, spot patterns, and prepare for meaningful decisions. The tendency to choose silence over chatter isn't just a personality quirk. It's an investment in clarity and depth. Consider how our brains process information. In constant noise, the mind is forced to react, keeping up with conversation and social cues. Yet, during silence, neural networks can use that idle time to consolidate memories, form connections, and generate insights that noisy environments rarely allow. Psychologists call this the default mode network, a system that engages when we're not bombarded by external input. For those who value silence, it's not just about avoiding talk, but allowing the brain a chance to wander, explore, and resolve complex questions subconsciously. People who choose quiet settings often notice problems sooner and recognize hidden opportunities, simply because they give themselves time and space to notice what others miss in the noise. It's natural to assume that those who prefer silence are less social or less engaged with the world. But often, the opposite is true. Valuing silence signals a comfort with one's own thoughts. Research into solitude shows it's in these moments that self-regulation strengthens and emotional balance grows. When you're not constantly pulled into the noise of others' opinions, you learn to listen inwardly, discerning your real motivations and patterns. This habit becomes a form of strength, the ability to pause before reacting, to reflect before judging. Over time, it sharpens decision-making because you're not living by default settings, but from considered understanding. The link between silence and self-improvement runs deeper than it first appears. The long-term effects of living with this quiet discipline are often underestimated. People who cultivate silences gain a resilience to external pressures. Commercial noise, peer opinions, and even social comparison lose their grip. Small conscious choices add up. Instead of scattering attention across dozens of distractions, mental resources are allocated with intention. Over months and years, the preference for silence means less impulsive behavior, fewer regrets, and a more defined sense of purpose. This approach doesn't require isolation or avoiding relationships. Instead, it's about protecting enough silence in your life to let priorities surface organically. Over time, this practice allows for more authentic self-improvement and sharper discernment about which paths genuinely match your values. If you find yourself drawn to silence, recognize it as a form of quiet strength rather than a social liability. You're not withdrawing from life, but investing in a space where your thinking can mature and your decisions can align with who you actually are. A simple principle emerges: guarding moments of stillness, even in small amounts, makes room for better judgment and clearer growth. In a world full of urgent advice and louder voices, this hidden strength offers a kind of durable advantage, a clarity others may overlook. If this video helped you, please hit that like button and subscribe and share it with your friends.